Very good morning, guys. Welcome to the online classes. I think we were discussing about in the last class we were discussing about the uh, graphical representation of work in various process and the graphical calculation of work done from the graphical method. Okay, and I think we have seen one or two model problems based on that. We will continue with the discussion. And today's class we will discuss about an important concept called internal energy. Let us see what is meant by internal energy. Internal energy. Internal energy is basically denoted with either U or sometimes it is also denoted with E. Doesn't make much difference whether you are representing with U or whether you are representing with the E. Right? Now, in the book it is given with the U only. You can also represent with the E. Now let us see what is meant by internal energy. Any system, okay, any system which is having certain mass will be always associated with some quantity of energy. If you are considering any system which is having certain mass, it will be always associated with some quantity of the energy which is called as internal energy. And for a given system, it is actually not possible to determine the absolute value of the internal energy, because the internal energy of a system is actually sum of the all type of energies of the system. Okay, a system will be associated with several type of energies, okay, such as translational energy, vibrational energy, rotational energy, electronic energy, nuclear energy levels, and kinetic energy, potential energy of each and every molecule that are present in a given amount of mass of a system. Okay, will have the will be equal to the internal energy of the system. Okay, now let us see by the definition was what we can say. Right, as I said, what we can say, every system having certain mass is associated with some quantity of energy, which is known as what is this? Internal energy. What you call it as? Internal energy we call it as. Right? Internal energy we call it as. Now, internal energy, okay. Internal energy, the exact value of internal energy is not known, as it includes all types of energies of molecules of a given mass of a matter, right? Such as, what are the energies such as? That is translational, rotational, vibrational, electronic, kinetic energy, potential energy, etc. It includes all types of energies. Mu of a system can be given. Mu system will be equal to, okay, mu system will be equal to U translational plus U rotational plus U vibrational plus U electronic plus it goes like that. It includes all type of energies, all possible type of energies. Sum of all possible types of energies of a given system is called as internal energy. Right? An important point is that it is neither possible nor necessary to calculate the exact value of internal energy. It is actually not possible to calculate the exact value of the internal energy, neither it is necessary. Why? When you are dealing with a thermodynamic process, in a thermodynamic process, we are only concerned with the change in the internal energy. We don't need exact value of the internal energy. Okay, when a system moves from one state to the other state, we are only concerned with what amount of energy changes are associated. Okay, we will only determine the energy changes associated when a system moves from one state to the other state. Right? Okay, exact value of internal energy. Since we are concerned with change in internal energy. When a system moves from one state to the other, right? Now, suppose if you denote change in internal energy of a system when it moves from initial to final state, it will be given U final minus U initial. Right? This is generally this is the expression for the change in internal energy of a system when a system moves from an initial state to final state. When a system moves from one state to other state, change in internal energy is expressed, okay, mu final minus mu initial. Okay, if mu final is greater than mu initial, right, then what happens? Then delta U will be greater than 0, that is positive. Right? If mu U final is less than U initial, then what happens? Then delta U will be less than 0, that is negative. Now let us see the characteristics of internal energy. First important characteristics of internal energy is that it is a state function. What is that? It is a state function. Second important characteristics of internal energy is that, what is meant by state function? It only depends upon the initial and final state of the system. It does not depend how the process is being made and what manner the change is being made. It will be independent of the path by which the change is being made. It only depends upon the initial and final state of the system, right? And it is an extensive property. Right? Now, internal energy, change in internal energy of a cyclic process. In a cyclic process is 0. If you are talking about a cyclic process, suppose if a system goes from A to B and B to C and again C to D. So the change in the state function in a cyclic process will be always 0. Okay? Internal energy depends upon mass, temperature, value, pressure, etc. factors. And internal energy of a system can be changed either in the form of heat or work. Either in the form of heat or in the form of work. We can change the internal energy of the system. Suppose if the system absorbs heat, the internal energy of the system increases. If the system gives the heat, internal energy of the system decreases. If work is done on the system, internal energy of the system increases. If work is done by the system, internal energy of the system decreases. Okay, heat and energy are the two modes of energy by which an internal energy of the system can be changed. These are some important characteristics of internal energy. What is mean by internal energy? Any system which is having certain extent of mass will always be associated with some energy. That energy is called as internal energy, and it is the sum of all the possible types of energies of a system. Because of that reason, it is not possible to determine the exact value of the internal energy, neither we are required it, because in a thermodynamic process we are only concerned with changing the internal energy, not the exact value of the internal energy, right? Okay, when a system goes from an initial state to the final state, the change in internal energy will be given u final minus u initial, right? And internal energy is a state function, it is an extensive property, right? Internal energy change in a cyclic process will be zero, and it can be changed either by doing work or by heat. Now we will discuss another important zeroth law of thermodynamics, or this is also called concept of thermal equilibrium. Concept of thermal equilibrium. Zeroth law of thermodynamics, or the concept of thermal equilibrium. Okay, this zeroth law of thermodynamics or thermal equilibrium was formulated by formulated by a scientist called R. Flower in 1931. It is given after first law and second law of thermodynamics. It is given after the first law and second law of the thermodynamics, and importantly, it explains or introduces concept of thermal equilibrium. What it will tell us? Concept of thermal equilibrium. Okay, let us try to understand what is meant by thermal equilibrium. Okay, suppose if you are keeping, whenever you bring an hot body closer to the cold body, when an hot body brought in contact with the cold body, what happens? The heat transformation takes place from the hotter body to the cold body, okay, till the temperature of both the bodies becomes equal. Okay, then we say after reaching the temperature same in both the bodies, we say such a state as thermal equilibrium. Okay, let us try to understand. We have two bodies. Let us assume this is a body A which is having temperature T1. This is a body B which is having a temperature T2. Let us assume that the temperature T1 is greater than T2. Now we can say this is hot body and this is cold body. Since it is lower temperature, this is hot temperature. If you bring them close together, if you bring them contact with one another, then what happens? Heat transformation takes place from where to where? A to B, till what? Till this T1 becomes equal to T2. When this T1 becomes equal to T2, such a state is called as, what we call it as thermal equilibrium. We call it as, this state is called as thermal equilibrium. Now what happens here? Heat lost by A is equal to heat gained by B. In this process what happens? Decrease in internal energy of A is equal to increase in internal energy of B. Okay, what happens when you bring an hot body in contact with the cold body? Heat transformation takes place from hot body to cold body till the temperature of both the bodies becomes equal. That state of the system where the temperature of both the bodies are equal is called as thermal equilibrium. And the actual statement of this zeroth law is that it can be stated, this is a statement of zeroth law. Okay, when two systems are in thermal equilibrium, with a third system, then they are in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is the statement of with each other. This is a statement of zeroth law. Okay, what it says, when two systems are in thermal equilibrium with one third system, okay, then they are in thermal equilibrium with each other. Let us assume that, let us take a system A and B. If this A and B are in thermal equilibrium with C, right, they are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is the meaning of it. Okay, if A is in thermal equilibrium with C and B is in thermal equilibrium with C, then A and B are also in thermal equilibrium with each other. This is a statement of zeroth law. We have only the zeroth law statement. There are no much application of it. It only tells us about the concept of thermal equilibrium. Okay, what is meant by thermal equilibrium? When we say when two bodies are having same temperature, then we say they are with the thermal equilibrium with each other. Okay, this is about the concept of thermal equilibrium. Okay, hope it is clear. Now, after this we will discuss about another important concept, first law of thermodynamics. Actually, for us the very important one is first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics. This is very important for us. Okay, the first law of thermodynamics can be stated in several ways. Okay, there are different statements given by various scientists regarding the first law of thermodynamics, and all these statements tells only one thing about all these statements talks only about one thing, is that conservation of energy. Okay, the main meaning of all these statements given by various scientists, the thermodynamics is merely talks about the conservation of energy. Okay, now basically we will see what all the statements given by different scientists regarding the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, basically it was formulated by Robert Mayer and Helmholtz. Two scientists called Robert Mullen. Okay, it tells about conservation of energy. All the statements are basically talks about the conservation of energy. Let us see the statements of various statements. Statements of first law of thermodynamics. There are several statements. The first one you can see. Okay, the energy is neither created nor destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. This is the one of the statement of first law of thermodynamics. What it says, the energy is neither created nor destroyed. Okay, that means what? The energy of the universe is constant. The total energy of the universe is constant. It can be neither increased nor decreased, but it can be transformed to one form to the other form. Okay, and there is also another statement which says that the energy of isolated system is constant. It's nothing but whenever you are talking about isolated, what is meant by isolated system? A system which cannot exchange neither matter nor energy, neither matter nor energy with the surroundings is called as isolated system. When it is not exchanging neither energy nor mass, its energy will be constant. Okay, this is another form of or another statement of first law of thermodynamics. There are few more statements. We will see all the statements and we will derive the expression from the first law of thermodynamics. The energy of a closed system is equal to heat absorbed plus work done on. Okay, before discussing this statement, there is another statement. Let me tell you that first. Sometimes it can be directly asked. Okay, the statement was, let me give that first. It is impossible to construct a perpetual motion machine which can work without consuming any energy. This is another statement. Directly it can be asked in an objective. Okay, suppose let us take an example. What is meant by this statement? It is not possible to construct any motion machine, perpetual motion machine, which can work without any consuming, without any energy. Is it possible to construct any machine without consuming energy? If you take any machine, it will take any form of, it will consume a certain sort of energy, right? If you are talking about any sort of machine that we are available with, no, okay, it requires a certain form of energy to work it. Okay, so far we haven't constructed any motion machine which can work without consuming any form of energy. Okay, now if a system is supplied with, let us assume that, okay, another important statement is that the net energy of a closed system is equal to heat absorbed plus work done. Okay, what is meant by this? Let us assume that we have a system whose internal energy is, let us assume, U1. If this is given with a Q amount of energy, if it is supplied with a Q amount of heat, then what it happens, the internal energy of the system will becomes Q1 U1 plus Q. If W work is done on the system, then the internal energy of the system will become U2. Now what we can give in the equation for the net energy change. Okay, the system is moving from a energy of U1 to U2. Okay, this is the initial state and this is a final state. Now the U2 will be equal to what? Okay, this is the original internal energy of the system. It is being provided a Q amount of heat and W work is done on the system. When work is done on the system, what will be the sign? Positive sign. So from this, what we can write? U2 minus U1 will be equal to Q plus W. This is the mathematical form. Okay, what we can write this U2 minus U1 will be what? Delta U, that is change in the internal energy of a closed system. Okay, will be equal to what? Q plus W. This is the mathematical equation or mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics. Okay, it's a very important one. What is meant by this? The net change in the internal energy, the net energy of a closed system. Okay, the net internal energy of a closed system will be equal to heat absorbed plus work done. Right? What is meant by closed system? it cannot exchange matter, but it can exchange the energy. Energy can only either enter into the system or leave the system in the form of heat or by doing any work. Okay, so we are talking about the net energy change in a closed system, which will be equal to the heat absorbed plus work done. This is one of the form of first law of thermodynamics, or it can also be stated that this is an important statement, or otherwise there is another way of statement of the first law of thermodynamics, that the net energy of a, let me write here, hope you energy of a closed system, hope you can see here, closed system is equal to heat absorbed minus work done by system. What is this? Work done by system. This is another form of first law of thermodynamics. Either you can say from this statement what we can write, delta U will be equal to Q minus W. Okay, either this delta U will be equal to Q plus W or delta U will be equal to Q minus W. These are the two mathematical forms of the first law of thermodynamics. Now let us see some important conclusions. Some important conclusions of first law of thermodynamics. Right? Don't buy out all the statements. This is only the statement which is important for us. The net energy change of a closed system will be equal to heat absorbed plus work done, or heat absorbed minus work done. Right? Now, suppose we are talking about an isothermal process. What is meant by isothermal process? In case of isothermal process, the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, what is meant by first law of thermodynamics? Temperature is constant. If the temperature is constant, then what happens? Delta T or dt will be 0. And we know that if you are talking about an ideal gas, for an ideal gas, what happens? Ideal gas internal energy is basically function of what? Temperature. In case of ideal gas, we are talking about the ideal gas only. If delta T is 0, then delta U will be 0. Okay, if delta U is 0, then substitute this delta U value in the first law of thermodynamics. What is the equation? Okay, du equal to Q plus W. Mostly we will use this equation only. This equation only we use widely. Okay, even though there are two statements, we are always going to use this statement throughout the chapter. Okay, so here since delta U will be equal to 0, then what happens? 0 equal to Q plus W. From this what we can write? From this we can write that Q is equal to minus W. What is mean by this? It means that heat absorbed from surroundings is equal to heat absorbed from surroundings will be equal to work done by system. What is mean by this? Okay, if Q equal to minus W, okay, that means what? Heat is being absorbed. The positive sign indicates that heat is being absorbed by the system. From where it will be absorbed? It must be absorbed from the surrounding. Heat absorbed from the surroundings will be equal to work done by the system. Minus sign indicates that your work is being done by system. Okay, our other possibility is what? W is equal to minus Q. If W is equal to minus Q, what this indicates? Here indicates that heat given to, minus sign indicates giving heat given to surroundings is equal to work done on the system. When it will be in case of isothermal process, the first law of thermodynamics, if you are applying for ideal gases, okay, since temperature is constant, change in the temperature will be 0. If change in the temperature is 0, for an ideal gas, change in the internal energy will also be 0. If the change in the internal energy is 0, then what happens? Either Q will be equal to minus W or W will be equal to minus Q. If Q is equal to minus W, it indicates that heat absorbed from the surroundings will be equal to work done on the system. If heat is given to the surroundings, that will be equal to work done by the system. Okay, this is in case of where it is. This is in case of isothermal process. We will see in other processes also. Okay, if you are talking about the isoporic process, what is meant by isoporic process? In isoporic process, V is constant. V constant means delta V on dV will be 0. Okay, from this first expression of first law of thermodynamics, du equal to what? Q plus W. From this, what is W? W is equal to minus P external delta V. If you put the V value of what happens? P external into 0, what happens? It will become 0. If you put the W value in this equation, what happens? It will become D will become equal to du will become equal to Q. In case of isoporic process, what happens? Internal energy of the system will be equal to heat, and if heat is absorbed by the system, then what happens? Internal energy increases. Or what is the other possibility? If heat is lost by the system, then what happens? Then internal energy of the system decreases. This is very, very important. Now, what is the other possibility? The third possibility is an adiabatic process. If you are talking in the adiabatic process, what is meant by adiabatic process? An adiabatic process, that means Q will be equal to 0. There will be no neither heat exchange nor absorption or loss. If you put the Q value in adiabatic process, okay, Q will be 0. Okay, there will be no heat exchange between the system and surrounding. That means if you put this value, okay, so what it will become? Du will be equal to W. What is meant by this? From this, what we can conclude? If work is done, these are very, very important conclusions of first law of thermodynamics in various processes. If work is done on the system, then internal energy of system increases. What happens? Increases. Right? If work is done by the system, then what happens? Internal energy of the system decreases. Are you getting this? Okay, this is very, very important conclusions from the first law of thermodynamics. In isothermal process, okay, du will be 0, then Q will be equal to minus W, or W will be equal to minus Q. In isoporic process, du will be equal to Q. Heat absorbed by the system will increases the internal energy. Heat given by the system decreases the internal energy. In case of adiabatic process, D will be equal to W. If work is done on the system, internal energy of the system increases. If work is done by the system, internal energy of the system decreases. Now, let us see a simple question. Okay, assume that work done by a system is 10 joules. And during the process, it absorbs 50 joules of energy from surroundings. Calculate change in internal energy. It is asking us to calculate change in internal energy when a system is doing 10 joules of energy by absorbing 50 joules of energy from the surroundings. The important thing is that calculate the first law of thermodynamics, that is du equal to Q plus W. Here what is it? Q is being absorbed. What will be the sign? If it is being absorbed by the system, sign will be positive. This will be 50 joules. And work is done by the system. What is mean by this? This will be negative 10 joules. If you put this value here, what? It comes 50 minus 10. How much it comes? The internal energy change in the system will be what it is? 40 joules. Okay. this whether work is done by the system or work is done on the system. Okay, here internal energy of the system is increased by what happens? What is the conclusion? Internal energy of the system is increased by 40 joules of energy, right? Or similar, for example, if you are an ideal gas undergoes, take a question, an ideal gas undergoes, okay, expansion against 1 atm pressure from 4 liters to 14 liters. Calculate by absorbing 800 joules heat energy from surroundings. Calculate change in internal energy. What he has given? He is saying that ideal gas is undergoing expansion against a 1 atm pressure from a volume of 4 liter to what is this 14 liter. During this process it is absorbing 80 kilojoules. In expansion always heat will be absorbed by system. So what is the formula here? du is equal to what? Q plus what is this? W. Okay, right. What is Q given? Q is given 800 joules. What is P is given? P is given 1 atm. You have to use the W. You have to calculate the W from the given data. 1 atm it is. And what is V given? V is given, V2 is 14 and V1 is 4. So it comes to be what is 10 liters. So that means what? W will be equal to minus P external into what is this? dV. How much it comes? It comes minus 1 into what is the change here? 10. Okay, what is this? This comes equal to minus 10. Okay, how much it comes? Minus 10 liter atm. But you have to use the value in joules. How much it comes in joules? We know that. What is the conversion factor? Okay, 1 liter atm will be equal to 101.32 joules. Okay, let us put this data here. Du will be equal to what is this? Okay, 800 minus how much it is? This will comes to equal how much it is? It comes to be equal to minus 10132 joules it comes. Now if you put this value here, how much it comes? It comes 213.2 joules. Is it negative or positive? What is mean by this? Okay, here work is done by the system. How much amount of work is done by the system? Okay, during this process internal energy of the system is decreased by how much? Minus decreased by 213.2 joules. This is how you have to calculate the change in the internal energy in various processes. We'll get this type of so many questions. We'll discuss them while doing the objective questions. Hope it is clear so far. Okay, this first law of thermodynamics is having a very important applications in thermochemistry as well as. Because of that, try to have the awareness regarding all the statements of first law of thermodynamics and mathematical form of first law of thermodynamics. Okay, we'll continue the remaining in the next class. Thank you.